What is good out the box, man? This is different content than I'm usually making, but this is kind of why I started this whole channel. So this video is the number one marketing mistake independent artists keep making, and being a part of Out the Box and seeing how artists promote and market their stuff, it's really problematic, you know what I mean? But that's what I'm saying. If you don't have the information, it's easy to make these mistakes. Even I make these mistakes with the channel itself and just anything that I'm creating. But I just wanted to tap in and see what is the mistake and how we can fix it. So let's watch, man. Thank you guys for watching. Like this video, subscribe. Let's get right into it.
Most artists fail because they market like they're already famous, and that's why nobody cares. Let that sink in for 1 second. You hop on social media and everyone's yelling, gotta market your music. You need content. Just put yourself out there. So you try. You drop a link, you post some clips, maybe even throw some money at an ad, and then what? Nothing happens. So now you're frustrated because you're thinking, I'm doing everything they told me to do. Why isn't this working? Let's talk about it real quick. The problem really isn't that you're not marketing. The problem is that you're marketing at the wrong level. Marketing when you're trying to get on is completely different from marketing when you already have a fan base, but most artists don't recognize that. They market like they already made it. They move like a side artist, thinking that if they just promote the song enough, people will magically care, but you can't market to an audience that you don't have yet.
Hey, he's making some good points, because if you think about it, like, you can't market like, you know what I'm saying, the Frank Oceans of the world or the Playboy Cartis, this mysterious, marketing. You really got to put yourself out there on a different level, just because it's not, you're teasing something that nobody necessarily, not that nobody cares about, but that, yeah, I mean, nobody cares about relatively to everybody. So rather than teasing it, it should be a different approach. But let's see what he's talking about. Like, even getting press or interviews or write-ups before it comes out, kind of, it's, to me, doesn't really make sense. You know what I mean? Just because maybe you could do an article that drops when the project drops, or when the song drops. But if nobody, not that nobody cares to be rude like that, but if not a large group of people care about your music, you're teasing nothing. You're teasing something, and if they do like it and they're clicking on it, they're not going to actually, you miss that retention of getting them to hit play or buying the product then and there. Maybe they can pre-sell it. That's something he might be talking about, but I'm going too in depth. I'm gonna let the video go through.
Think about it real quick. Would a restaurant open its doors and expect long lines on day one? Of course not. They understand that they have to build awareness. They have to get people through them doors. But that's exactly where artists go wrong. They try to sell before they build demand. Let me paint a scenario for you real quick, right? So imagine two artists walk into a stadium. One is a superstar and the other artist is unknown. The superstar stepped on stage, the crowd goes crazy, screaming, chanting every word before the song even starts. Now imagine the unknown artist try to do the same thing. They walk on stage, pulled out the mic expecting the same reaction, but instead silence. Not because they're bad, not because their music sucks, but because no one knows who they are. The crowd starts to shift uncomfortably. You hear whispers like, who is this? Somebody whips out their phone, starts to get distracted, people walk away. The unknown artist feels the weight of that silence, that realization that just having a song doesn't mean people will listen. This is exactly how most artists approach marketing. They think just showing up is enough. They think dropping a song means people should automatically care, but that's not how marketing works when you're unknown. Marketing when you're undiscovered artist is about getting attention first. It's about giving people a reason to listen before you start asking them to. Marketing when you're unknown is not the same as marketing when you're famous. So what should you be doing instead? There are 3 phases of marketing every artist goes through. Phase 1 is attraction, getting people to notice you.
All right, guys, if y'all are watching your artist, write this down. First, attraction, getting people to notice you. We better be writing this down. I'm writing it down. I'm taking mental notes, but I got the video.
Nobody knows you. Your job isn't to promote your music. It's to get people to stop scrolling to pay attention to you as a person. Most artists assume that dropping a song is enough, but people connect with the artist way before they ever connect with their music. Here's what really works, right? Stories that make people care. Talk about what led up to your song. What emotions does it capture? What moment inspired it? Giving people relatable content. React to trends, show your struggle. Let people see the real you. And then there's community engagement. Instead of just posting, get in them comments, build relationships, and create real moments. Take Didi Osama, for example. His fans didn't just connect with his music, they connected to his story, his pain, and his journey. If people don't care about you first, they will never care about your music. Phase 2 is connection. Give people a reason to stick around.
Connection. Keep people a reason to stick around. I need him to go slightly in depth because, it's very surface level, but he's right. These are things that need to be done, but you just have to expand on it. And each artist is going to have a different attraction, different way of connecting. And it's just up to you to kind of figure out what you're best at, like what represents you the most, because that's very vague, but the answer is inside of you. It's not, it's just like an outline, but you still have to implement your strategy into that, like everything he's saying.
Attention isn't enough. You gotta convert your viewers into fans. This phase right here is all about consistency, showing up often so people start expecting you. Storytelling, share who you are, why you make music, and what makes you different from all the other artists out there. And then building a movement. Give people a real reason to identify with you. Think about how Playboi Carti created the whole Vamp movement. Fans need something to latch onto. The artists who fail to recognize this become one-hit wonders because they never ever turn their casual listeners into real fans. The artist Yeat, he built a whole aesthetic and inside culture around his music. His fans don't just listen, they adopt the language, the visuals, and the lifestyle. Now phase 3 is all about promotion. Now you can start selling your music. This is where artists get it backwards. They try to push for streams before people even care, but real marketing works like this, You have to create anticipation, tease your song in creative ways, skits maybe, behind the scene content, storytelling videos. Then you drop your song strategically, release it in a way that creates engagement, challenges, fan participation, and so on. Then nurture that audience, keep the momentum going after the release. Too many artists just drop content and disappear. Take Destroy Lonely, for example. He's literally built hype around his brand, visuals, and message before the music ever even drops. If you've done phase 1 and phase 2 correctly, now is when you can promote and see real results. If you're ready to stop marketing like you're already on and start getting real traction, follow me now. I don't just talk about music marketing, I show artists how to actually win. The difference between unknown and unstoppable isn't luck, it's marketing that fits where you are right now. Most artists will keep doing what feels comfortable, dropping links, forcing streams, and wondering why nobody listens. But if you're still here, you already know it's time to start moving differently. Let's work.
Okay. So, just to go into this video, I think this is great content. I think this is good information. And like I was saying, like about the teasing thing, like, yes, but like you're saying, you have to have that groundwork. And in today's time, TikTok, I think is a great instrument. YouTube, I guess Instagram, I would say Instagram the third, out of the three. But I just feel like you almost have to be a personality at this point in time, like building up that, profile or personality, or them coming to you for certain information, and then you can push it in there. Or like he said, your struggle. For example, my guy Christian Delvion, he for example, he's promoting. He's about to release a new project, and I'm not sure if he's still doing it, but he drives trucks and just showing that lifestyle, showing the recording process, different parts within the creation of the music. I think is a great way to go. On top of that, you just got to keep building it. You got to keep building it, keep the consistency with it. But I think you will get more and more of a a data set of who you can market to in the markets you can market to, um, because this music thing is very, very difficult. It's like you need the visuals, you need obviously the music has to be good, but I feel like the music is the heart, is like the last thing, you have to get right. It's like, Cardi B, for example, she was this big personality, and she can make that switch so well because she was already a likable person. She was funny on Instagram. So it's like you need almost this perfect set of circumstances to be that, because at the end of the day, like, obviously the music has to be good. The music got to keep the people jumping and flipping. But at the end of the day, you can look at a lot of these artists and their music ain't good. So it's not always the cream of the crop rises to the top. Sometimes it's just like the strategy, behind it. He mentioned Destroy Lonely, and I was like, man, Destroy Lonely, like you got Destroy Lonely, you got the Cardis, got the Frank Oceans. I'm just talking about people that, what I mean, that are very like calculated and secretive, but somehow amass this uh, huge fan base. And I think it's off the mystique of like nobody knows, So I think that is like for every 10 artists, you may have one or maybe two that can have that style of celebrity, and the rest really have to be like promoting in your face, doing interviews, um, networking, collab, all that different stuff. So it's just really, yeah, like this is a this is a dope video, you know what I mean? But you really have to lock in on who you are, just do market research, like Tyler the Creator. I mean, obviously, that's a whole different time period. It's like you really have to lock in on the people that got hot in the past couple of years and use them as your base study of what you should be doing, and just figure out ways to implement who you are. You know what I mean? Like everybody don't want to do skits, everybody is not play. Some people might be more serious. I like behind the scenes. If behind the scenes, you got in the studio, uh, just maybe talking about a song, like talking about, hey man, this song's about surviving a car crash, and like just have cool captions, have cool TikToks, cool, you know, I don't know, man. Like it's really just up in the air, like something emotional. Like man, this song right here saved my life. You know what I mean? Like, and that could be what you need to get people to just stay 10 more seconds. And then in that 10 seconds, they might fall in love with you or um, become a fan. Or, oh man, you know what? That's a dope story. I want to keep locked in with him and follow him and hit the follow button, or hit the like, or hit a comment. But man, there's just too many different ways to potentially be successful. It's just all about if you can find your knack. I'm a artist. At heart, I haven't created, well, I haven't released anything, and I'm just taking it all in. Like I'm using this out the box thing to as information. I'm looking at what artists is doing good. I'm looking at what they're doing bad. I'm looking at how we can improve, how the content needs to look. Just what I'm looking at everything. I'm looking at results. I'm very analytical. So yeah, man. Thank y'all for watching. I hope my addition to this video has added value, and I just hope that you guys can continue to keep pushing on, and locking in with whoever you are, and finding what sets you apart, because I think that's what pushes you towards getting that fan base and putting you in a better situation. You see what I'm saying? So, like I said, thank y'all for watching. I'll see you on the next one. I'm out.